Now, we get some Brothers War previews. Now, this right here. This right here. This is probably the most interesting part for standard players because we got to see 2 new cards from Brothers War today, which I don't think we really expected to see cards from this set, but we got it. Now, as we kick off our 30th anniversary celebration, we've already sent out invites to our very first party, Magic 30 in Las Vegas, USA. I feel like I have to do that voice. Sorry, Blake. Thousands of players have already signed up to celebrate. There's so much more happening at Magic 30 than what we revealed so far. One highlight we can talk about is that we're launching the Brothers War previews by sharing them throughout the event. Magic 30 will be the place to see amazing Brothers War previews first. We did like a South Park voice. To see amazing Brothers War previews first. Eat snacky smalls. We'll recap highlights from the event on social media and daily MTG, but there's still time to purchase virtual tickets that will give you access to panels and yes, live previews. I get access to live previews regardless. Are you not gonna broadcast live previews on Twitch? Is this what we're doing instead? Plus virtual events and opportunity for Magic 30 merchandise. Want some of that sweet, sweet merchandise? Want a taste of what Magic 30 has in store for the Brothers War? Here's a preview we'll share today. Let me introduce you to Mishra's Ultimate Form. So, we get, and I'm going to read this to you because there's no way you can read this card. There we go. I was going to say at this volume, at this size, there's no way you can read this card. So Mishra, claimed by Gix, is 4 mana, 2 in Rakdos for a 3/5 legendary creature. It's a Phyrexian Human Artificer. Whenever you attack, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of attacking creatures. If Mishra, claimed by Gix, and a creature named Phyrexian Dragon Engine are attacking, you both own and control them, exile them, then meld them into Mishra, Lost to Phyrexia. It enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. Now, it referenced another card on there, so let's read that other card. Phyrexian Dragon Engine is 3 mana for a 2/2 artifact creature, Phyrexian Dragon, with double strike. And when it ETBs from your graveyard, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards, and you can unearth this. It's cool that we're going to have that ability in this set. I've always liked unearth. You can unearth this for 3 and 2 red. So, if I'm not mistaken, unearth this basically means you can blitz it back in from your graveyard. It dies EOT, right? So, not bad. Kind of at all. Just a solid little thing. 3 mana, 2/2 double strike that any deck can technically play. Only red decks can unearth it. I'm not sure how many decks will be interested in playing a card like this, to be honest. But it's kind of neat. You don't mind attacking with it because it has double strike. It's kind of a 3 mana 4/4 a little bit. So, cool stuff about it. Mishra himself, yes, I have not gone on to the the thing it melds into yet. We'll get to that. Mishra itself can have some relevance the turn that it comes into play. So that's kind of neat. You drop this, you swing with some guys, they lose life, you gain life. So I kind of like that a little bit. But I'm not super impressed by it. I will say that if this comes down turn 4, you attack with 2 or 3 guys, that doesn't finish the opponent off. If you untap with Mishra out and then you start swinging with Mishra and 2 or 3 other guys again, then suddenly you probably dealt 7 or 8 to them just by attacking, not even dealing combat damage, just by attacking. You gain some life that'll help in aggro mirrors with, crackbacks and making sure that you actually, run them out of life first and all that. So I don't hate this, but I think a 4 mana 3/5 that has no keyword abilities, it probably doesn't do a lot the turn it comes out unless you play it relatively late in the game, in which case it can just win you the game. Drop it, swing with 6 guys, win before you even hit combat, blockers or whatever. So there is that about it, but what obviously we're here to really look at is Mishra Lost to Phyrexia, which is scary. This, by the way, what was I saying? Time traveling Phyrexians, baby. Mishra Lost to Phyrexia is a 9/9 legendary artifact creature, which is also a Phyrexian Artificer. And whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you choose 3. Target opponent discards 3, by the way. I just want to reiterate, you choose 3 different modes on this card. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Mishra deals 3 damage to any target. Destroy target artifact or planeswalker. Creatures you control gain menace and trample until end of turn. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 till end of turn. and or create 2 tapped Power Stone tokens. Now, you can't choose a mode more than once, which would make this really good. Just immediately deal like 9 damage to your opponent or something. That'd be kind of cool. But also, this is kind of lame. The card still doesn't have any keyword abilities. So like, it's a 9/9, and it enters the battlefield tapped and attacking, but it doesn't trample. It doesn't trample, it doesn't fly or anything like that. So your opponent can chump this. So there's that. But maybe you kill a guy with it. Maybe you kill another guy by giving all their dudes -1/-1. Maybe you destroy one of their artifacts or walkers or make them discard 2. It's like there's just a lot that happens with this card once it actually flips over. The problem is it's a little bit like Urza. I mean, I guess I like that design if you're going to make both of them a little iffy for real competitive play, which I think they are. I think Urza's iffy for competitive play, and I think that this is even more so in a lot of ways. I wish it at least had like some protection, ward, something, right? But it doesn't. So I think this is kind of even iffier for standard play in a lot of ways. So I'm not too sure about it. I think it's really cool as like maybe, I want to say a commander, but I'm not even sure about that. So I think it's just a cool little card. I think it's just a cool little card. If you ever do flip it over, I will say this. You want to attack with a 2/2 double strike. You don't necessarily want to attack with a 4-mana 3/5 double strike, or just a 4-mana 3/5 vanilla guy. You don't necessarily want to attack with that guy, but it's probably okay to attack with that guy. Right? Probably fine. And in the meantime, it's pretty aggressive. Right? It wants to go into aggressive decks. The base form of Mishra does damage. It rewards you for attacking. The artifact attacks somewhat well and continues to, comes back in the graveyard at least once. Draws a bunch of cards too when it does that. Solid card. You want to attack with it because, if it dies, that's fine. You can just you can unearth it and draw 3, so sure. So both of the cards just by themselves look kind of a slightly higher than medium, but not much higher than medium. So, it's not like you have to play bad cards to make this card work. But I think that in most like Rakdos decks or Grixis decks or whatever, like there's an existing Grixis control deck that does really well in current standard. And does it add these 2 cards so it can like meld into mid? No, I don't think so. There is a Rakdos deck in standard, Rakdos Anvil. Hey, I mean, Mishra is more drain triggers, and that deck builds up a lot of drain triggers, so there's that. The deck needs a refill in the mid-game, so unearthing the artifact creature could sort of work, but it's also an artifact, so you can sack it to Oni Cold Anvil and get a 1/1, and then just unearth it and draw a bunch of cards, right? Like, that's a play that the Rakdos Anvil deck could make with Mishra, but, like, a deck list is really tight already, and I'm not sure, like, what they cut to add these cards, because they have to add a functionally 7 cards, 3 Mishra, so I'm not sure, like, where it goes, I'm just not too convinced that it's great, but I will say that if you ever get an ETB trigger with it, then it probably does something really good, and I imagine too that if you don't, I will say some people are probably going to say you immediately get an ETB trigger and an attacks trigger, but you don't. You get an ETB trigger, but it enters play attacking, so you actually miss the attacks trigger. You don't get to do this. You don't get to do 6 things when it comes into play. You get an ETB trigger. And you get that ETB trigger, by the way, because they know they know you're going to miss the attacks trigger. So, on the next turn though, if you get to do this twice, basically, if you get the ETB trigger and another trigger the next turn attacking with it, I'm pretty sure you just win the game. So, however, you want melding this to win you the game on the spot, and it doesn't do that with this card or Urza. So, yeah. They're neat. I think Urza is probably the more powerful card, but we'll see. We'll see. This could be this could more easily go in decks that aren't just like built around it. If you have like an aggressive Rakdos deck that maybe cares about artifacts or something, like wants to play an artifact creature, and those decks exist now, then like this is easy to envision including. Whereas the Urza deck, it's like you want a deck that plays a bunch of instants and sorceries and a bunch of artifacts, and it's just weird. I don't know. It's possible. It is possible. So, but I'm just not too sure. Although Mishra does look cool. So this is the thing so big that it gets its own article. Nothing so far has been out of pocket. Nothing so far has been like offensive or anything like that. It's just like, okay, promos, Premier Play, you go to pre-releases, you get old cards in new frames or with their foil or whatever. Like, it's all cool. All that seems cool. Not enough, right? It's not enough. But I think some of us have like really big dreams for what a 30th anniversary could be. And this crushed all of them. Let's talk about this, everybody. So, 30th anniversary edition. Poor old Blake Rasmussen. To celebrate 30 years of Magic the Gathering, we knew we had to go big, dog. We had to create an experience for fans new and old. I gotta read it in the voice. That would be worthy of 3 decades of the original trading card game. We wanted a collectible, commemorative, jaw-dropping, mind-blowing thing that would cement itself in our collective memories. It sure will, as we look towards the next 30 years of Magic. Enter 30th Anniversary Edition. Alright, so that's the back of the cards. But what you really care about is the front. Oh my god, it's a Black Lotus. It's a Black Lotus, everybody. 30th Anniversary Edition is a commemorative, collectible, non-tournament legal product celebrating 30 years of Magic. Inspired by limited edition beta, 30th Anniversary Edition lets fans and collectors experience some of the most iconic elements of Magic's early years. Featuring the original art that inspired a generation of Magic fans, 30th Anniversary Edition, I keep saying anniversary, is built with modern sensibilities and nostalgic roots. 30th Anniversary Edition will be for sale for the holidays. Available November 28th for $999 on 30theditionwizards.com. And even with Magic growing tremendously throughout the past 30 years, we've gone back to our roots with a limited edition print run. We expect that orders in North America will be received this year. If you live in other regions this product is shipped to, it will likely arrive later, you jerks. Screw you. So what's next? Okay, so you might be thinking that, okay, so it's $1,000. Okay, so it's $1,000. Let me scroll up so as not to spoil it if you haven't seen this yet. You might be thinking, okay, it's $1,000. So what this sounds like so far is a set, perhaps a cube, a set of one-ofs of all these cards they've shown me so far. I get a Black Lotus. Okay. I get an old bordered Black Lotus. I get a Shivan Dragon. I get a whole set of these cards for $1,000, which would still be a ridiculous price point that no one would pay. Okay. So just throw that out there. But let's read further. Each display of 30th Anniversary Edition, each $1,000 display of 30th Anniversary Edition will contain 4 packs of pure nostalgia. 4 packs of pure nostalgia, reimagined in a modern context. Each pack contains 15 cards, 13 cards in the modern frame. 13 cards in the new frame, guys. One rare, 3 uncommons, 7 uncommons, and 2 basic lands, plus 1 basic land in the retro frame, 1 additional retro frame card, and a token. So 15 cards. 2 of those 15 cards that you paid $1,000. You paid $250 a pack, and there are 2 basic lands in that 15 cards. that's like, what are you doing? Oh my god. Plus, you also get a basic land in the retro frame. I mean, you did pay $250 for that pack. So, you should get a basic land in the retro frame, right? At the very least. And of course, you get a token. Oh, and we did something cute, too. It's a human wizard, but it's the guy from Fastbond. Isn't that worth $250 for a pack of Magic cards? The retro frame slot is especially interesting. I'm reading, by the way, now. This is seamless, I know. As approximately 3 out of every 10... Notice that my Casey Kasem, like announcer Disney voice or whatever, is taking on like a much more, I don't know, tone as we go through. So we will soon, the camera will start panning away, and you will see soon that I'm actually in hell. I'm some sort of carnival barker in hell that is trying to get you to buy this horrible product. The Retro Flame, my voice is actually tinged with hatred for the consumer as I continue this. The Retro frame slot is especially interesting, as it's just dripping with venom, isn't it? Just sarcasm. As approximately 3 out of every 10 packs will contain a rare retro frame card. Anything from a Black Lotus to a Mahatma Jin to a Volcanic Island. That means some packs will contain 2 rares, and some will even contain 2 pieces of the Power 9. Can you imagine how freaking lucky you'd have to get? Speaking of Volcanic Island, we know the dual lands are an iconic part of Magic's early history, so each dual land appears twice as frequently as any other dual land rare. Look at that. This is true for both modern frame and retro frame dual lands. Okay. Additionally, nearly every 30th anniversary edition card included matches the rarity of its counterpart in limited edition beta. There are no mythic rares, and no rarities have been shifted. These cards do, however, have modern wording and modern corners, and we've slightly touched up some of the art for a clearer, modern look. Why? Why did you slightly touch up some of the art? Why did you do that? Why do they have rounded corners? Modern corners. Why? You don't have to do that. Why did you touch up? Why touch up the art? What are you doing? The only card that doesn't match its original rarity is another special add-on for 30th Anniversary Edition. Sol Ring is a card that's near and dear to many players, so we created a special new crop of the original art that will appear at common rarity in both the modern and retro frames. Sol Ring also appears at uncommon. There are some other nostalgic touches as well. The retro frame is the same frame we used in Time Spiral Remastered, so it's not a real retro frame. We also brought back the original white mana symbol. Who cares? The original basic land template and the classic art. Now, I do actually kind of care about the original basic land template. I would like you, just for the record, as I continue to poop all over this, and I apologize, I don't care. I'm actually not sorry at all. But I will say, if you want some kernel of a thing that I actually want as a Magic player, do more lands with the original templating. I kind of don't like lands with just a big goofy symbol in the text box. I like this. I like this instead. I want this. But everything else, stinky. It's poo-poo. These collectible cards are not tournament legal. They have a different back and are not legal in any sanctioned Magic event. They're meant to be collectible items commemorating 30 years of Magic. So few people have had the experience of opening a Black Lotus or Max Sapphire when Magic was originally released that we wanted to recapture some of that iconic experience for generations new and old. That's what it's about. They say here, it's for people who want to just crack packs. It's, oh, you like to crack packs and you never got to crack a Lotus back in the day. Wouldn't you like to crack a Lotus? Wouldn't you like to pay $1,000 for the privilege of probably not cracking a Lotus? Hey, you want to spin that wheel again, sir? You want to spin that wheel? You step right up and spin that wheel, sir? You want to throw some balls at some cups and see if you can knock them over? You want to try that, son? You want to, hey, give it a shot, little girl? You want to try? It's so ridiculous. You're going to spend $1,000 on four packs. It's 4 packs of Magic cards. You're not going to open a box. You're going to, I guess I'll throw another $1,000 at it, sir. Come on. Okay, so while we wanted to share some of the experience, we also reinterpreted this product from a modern approach. We wanted to be nostalgic, but not everything met our modern standards, so we removed 6 cards completely. The cards removed are Contract from Below, Dark Pact, Demonic Attorney, Earthbind, Weakness, Crusade. These are removed for all kinds of reasons. Crusade for probably good reasons. It is not a great card in terms of the ideas behind the card. Weakness is ableist. Earthbind is graphic. I guess the art is kind of graphic. Demonic Attorney, Dark Pact, Contract from Below. I think these all deal with anti, but I might be wrong. Either way, I actually really like the art on Demonic Attorney a lot. So it's kind of sad that we won't get versions of that. Finally, because this is a celebration, we wanted to spread the love around. We also intend to gift, completely free of charge, 1 display of 30th anniversary to all WPN stores, and 3 copies to all premium WPN stores. They didn't even spell it right. They said stories. This will include stores in regions where this product cannot otherwise be shipped. It's a gift we wanted to share with some of our strongest partners. WPN stores should check with their representative for more details. 30th Anniversary Edition celebrates 30 years of Magic by recapturing the, magic of the early years. It's a memorable, collectible, an iconic experience, and a truly unforgettable way to commemorate our favorite game. Buy it. It's $1,000. It's a thousand. It's a healing salve. I mean, it's an ancestral recall. It's $1,000. I'm just so tired. 30 years. 30 years. I'm gonna make a whole video on this topic very soon. I've already kind of teased it on Patreon, but you guys didn't know what I was talking. You guys didn't know what video I was gonna make. Just a quick extra teaser. One of the next few videos I want to do is talking about like the difference between Wizards of the Coast in 1996 and Wizards of the Coast in 2022. And how sometimes you have to be willing to step outside the box. You have to be willing to take risks. You have to be willing to do things no one expects you to do. And you sometimes have to be willing to put the bottom line at risk to increase the bottom line. And Wizards knew this, not just in 1996, but they knew it as recently as like the first Innistrad, which is forever ago now, but you know what I mean. It's like, I feel like Wizards as a company is more and more doing this thing where they don't do exciting new stuff, and they just do stuff like this isn't, this in and of itself, I want to make very clear, is not a bad idea. This really isn't a bad idea. They're just going about it all the wrong ways. Like, I get putting it in packs. I get that. And if it was a full set and you're guaranteed to get one of all of these cards, you could still put them in packs, but it wouldn't feel as special because like someone's guaranteed to open the Lotus, someone's guaranteed to open one of the Moxes, you know what I mean. So maybe it wouldn't feel as special, but like whoever in that boardroom suggested that this product should exist, I'm okay with that person. Whoever, and maybe it's the same person, but whoever suggested this product should then cost $1,000 should leave. Because they and everyone else like them in that C-suite are like the problem. I just... $1,000. It's $1,000. Like, this is one of those... I was saying this earlier on stream, but this probably won't be in like the YouTube video portion of this, so that probably won't be. So I'll include it here. I just think that this feels like a negotiation to me. This feels like the kind of thing where they come out and say it's $1,000, but they expect us to pitch a fit, right? They expect us to raise hell about it and be like, dude, you make this $1,000. So then they're going to come out and be like, okay, it's $500, which is still completely unreasonable, like horribly unreasonable. It's 4 packs. It's 4 packs. It's 90. Wait, it's 60 cards. It's 60 Magic cards. 52, really, because, 2 of your cards in that 15 are basic lands. So 52 Magic cards for $1,000. And they're not tournament legal. It's ridiculous. The price of this is ridiculous. And this isn't news. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. You know what I mean? It's just like us commiserating. It's just us, after work, fussing about our boss, just lifting a glass in the air, making a toast. Doesn't he suck? And yes, the boss man sucks in this game. Because, I like this, but I'm never going to buy it. I'm never, ever going to buy this. This, one of the reasons that this sentence makes me so mad. Where are you again? Where are you again? Ha 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 ha. These collectible cards are not tournament legal. They have a different back and are not legal in any sanctioned Magic event. They're meant to be collectible items. Okay, so here we go. So few people had the experience of opening a Black Lotus or Mox Sapphire when Magic was originally released that we wanted to recapture some of that iconic experience for generations new and old. So this sentence makes the product sound accessible. In some way, not all players had the chance to open a Black Lotus. We just wanted everybody to have that chance. Not for $1,000, you didn't. It's just, I'm not saying that the product has to be $20. You know what I mean? I think that, and I'm sure that there's a very interesting conversation to be had about this. I'm sure there is. But I'm pretty sure that you could release this for $100. And we wouldn't be that mad. I think it's probably, it's probably fine. And I mean the 4 packs version of it. If you were going to release a full set of these, I think you could probably get away with charging as much as $250. And there'd be a lot of people who would be like, oh, oh, and like I might be one of those people too. Like, what? This is $250, but it wouldn't be $1,000 for a chance. Like, this is still gambling. You know, this is still pack opening. This is none of this is guaranteed. Like, your best friend might be Muhammad Ejin in a new frame, or you know what I mean? Like, I just don't like. People are gonna buy it too. Like, collectors are gonna buy this. People with the money are gonna buy it, and just is gonna sit on a shelf for 20 years until they sell it at, you know, a 5 times profit, thus justifying the fact that it existed in the first place. And like, Wizards knows all of these things. They know they can get away with selling this product probably at this price point. So they're gonna do it. It's a limited print run too. They made that very clear. So, I mean, in limited, I know that Wizards of the Coast doesn't mean this, but when certain segments of the MTG community see limited print run, they see hoard this product, and Wizards of the Coast knows that. Doesn't mean they can't ever release anything with a limited print run, but when you do release something with a limited print run, maybe don't make it so exploitative. I don't know. It's just like, not every product should be for everyone. I actually agree with that. I know that that's a point that some like finance pros make that not everyone agrees with, but I do that not every product is for everyone. Products are for people at different price points sometimes. That's totally okay. But like this, $1,000, rent for a lot of people, rent for the month. Like, it's a month's worth of grocery bills. Do you understand that you can buy a car for like $2,500? Like, do you get that? Do you understand that you can take like a really nice trip with your family for like $1,000? Do you understand what $1,000 buys you? Not a bunch of cardboard, unless I'm actually investing. And investing is a word that I hate. I hate using that word when it comes to Magic cards. Do not invest in Magic cards. Invest in certificates of deposit. Invest in a Roth IRA. Invest in your, invest in things that are smart to invest in, that gain value over time, guaranteed, rather than like cardboard. Don't invest in Magic the Gathering. I guess I have to use that word here. I would, if I was going to spend $1,000, you put a weapon to my head. I'm on YouTube. You put something to my head and say, like, invest in Magic cards. I'm buying old cards. I'm not spending $1,000. So, you know, if you forced my hand to spend $1,000 on old school Magic cards, that would be a really fun experiment. And I would not be spending on proxies. And again, we can have are these proxies thing. It's official Wizards product. It's a limited print run, so it holds value. And yeah, all that's true. I hate that it's true. And I cede to you that those things are true. But the way people are going to use these in practice is A, for proxies, and B, letting the packs sit unopened on a shelf for years and years until they sell them at a ridiculous markup. And I hate both of those things. Because you can just order cheaper proxies. Like, if you want to draft out of this, can you imagine? Okay, so let's say I wanted to draft with, oh God. Let's say I wanted to draft with 4 people. If I want to draft with 4 people, is it not $3,000? Is it not $3,000 to draft with 4 people one time? For everyone to get 3 packs and there'd be 4 people. That's $3,000. You just print proxies. I don't have Black Lotus in my cube. I'll give you that much. But like, I literally just made a video about it. I just made an old school cube to recapture exactly this experience. And it was like $350 or something like that. Like, it's like a third the cost of these fake Magic. You know what I mean? Like, oh, dude. I'm on the verge of going like an hour long talking about this right now, but just like, what a cash grab, dude. Like, I've said it on Twitter earlier. They had me talking like a Redditor for this, but like, for once, the Redditors are right. You know what I mean? Like, this is one you can shake your fist at. Like, $1,000. And you can say that a product isn't for everyone all you want to, but $1,000 is $1,000. It's $1,000. At the very least, think of the poor whales. At this point, it really is like that, man. Like, $1,000. $1,000, man. You can write Time Walk on an Island. And at least the back is legit. Twister. I gotta look at chat more often for this. I've just been kind of going off into my own feelings here, which I know is what you guys want. But I should look at you guys because you guys have been posting gold over here. Post Malone could do it, and then somebody said even Post wouldn't do that. He'd just buy the real thing. Yeah. That's the thing, is it leaves you wondering, like, somebody made this point earlier. I think it's like the best point I've seen in chat so far, is who's this for? Because, like, if you have $1,000 to buy 4 packs of proxies, of, you know, collector's edition cards, whatever, like, you're just gonna buy old cards. You're just gonna buy old cards instead. Yeah, this is just bad. This is just bad. I mean, just to cap it off around the corner here, just you know, make a mad dash to home plate. It's bad. It's bad, and I wouldn't support it because it's bad. It's so bad. This is the kind of stuff they think they can get away with nowadays, man. And something is telling them that they can. I mean, this product alone will probably contribute to yet another, you know, new high in terms of revenue next year. I mean, of course you're capping out revenue every year, you know, you're releasing more and more Secret Lairs, you're releasing more and more garbage like this, like, of course, it's just, you're, like, faking a revenue number in a way, like, yeah, you release, like, 1 million times more product, you release singles through you, that you never did that before, of course you're gonna make more revenue, of course, it's artificial, I don't know, man, they're gonna love this product too, there's so many people are gonna buy this, probably not as many as their numbers project, right? But enough people are going to buy it that they're going to take a victory lap on it. I just know it. And I hate it. I would say thanks, I hate it, but no. Why would I thank you for something I hate? It's horrible. I hate it so bad. It's so bad. If you want this experience, just make it yourself. Seriously, you have $1,000 budget if you're going to buy this anyway. And if you want every card in the set, you probably have like an $8,000 budget. something ridiculous, you know what I mean? So just, if you're going to spend $1,000 on this, just look through whatever, TCG Player, Card Kingdom, whatever. I don't care. Just TCG Player I'm affiliated with, full disclosure. But just look through some site or another and order $1,000 worth of, well, here's what you do. Order $900 worth of old cards that are actually the old cards in the actual old frames that are actually from Revised or whatever, or Unlimited Edition. Just go hog wild, Hoss, whatever you want to do. And then spend $100 on proxies. You know, spend $100 on 2 copies of each Dual Land, a Black Lotus, like 1 copy of each Power 9 card, you know, whatever. Just, again, go crazy. Spend $50 to $100 on proxies and spend $900 on actual Magic cards. And you can emulate this experience and actually have the real cards. What do you know, I just don't get it. I will not get it. Why $1,000? Why anyone at Wizards of the Coast thought that this was the correct price point for this and that we would just be like, oh, yeah, I'll buy that. They had to know we'd be mad. They had to know we'd be mad at this. Like, what was the internal discussion like? I want to know if there really was discussion or argument or debate. Like, was Mark Rosewater like, it probably shouldn't be $1,000? And somebody's like, oh, no, but it really should be. And then the Hasbro guy was like, yeah, it should be $1,000. Yeah. It's like, what? How did this conversation go down? I have to know. What $1,000. But that's it. That's it for this YouTube segment. I really don't know what else I could say to really get across like how ridiculous and exasperated. I'm out of words. I'm out of words in the English language. I can't. It's bad. It's mal. It's malo. That's Spanish. It's muy malo. It's so bad. Just, why does this exist? Why? It's the 30th anniversary. You sit down with my cup of coffee and see what these announcements are because it's the 30th anniversary. I'm excited. What's it going to do? Oh, virtual tickets and $1,000 set full of fake cards. Cool. Wizards of the Coast 2022. It just says it all, you know? It's really discouraging. That's the worst part about it. I'll end the YouTube video on this. It's the worst part about it. A lot of us were excited, man. I mean, a point to the people who are cynical and jaded enough at this point to have not been excited for any potential announcements. Good on you. More people joining your side every day for good reason. But like, some of us were still excited. We try to remain optimists. We still love Magic the Gathering. It's 30 years. Oh, what's it going to be? It's going to be this. It's going to be garbage like this. And it's very discouraging. Wizards of the Coast. I'm going to let you, in case anybody from Wizards of the Coast is watching, and I know some people do. this is discouraging, and that's the worst part about it. You got a bunch of people with torches and pitchforks in the street right now saying that $1,000 is way too much for this product, and those people are a problem. I'm one of those people, don't get me wrong. But more so, I think, than like the outrage over the price point of this is how freaking deflating it is. How horribly discouraging it is that we're going into a 30-year celebration that you want to be this huge thing, and then you throw this giant fart into the elevator on the first day of the thing. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, it's just, no one's excited now. You killed it. You killed it. Wizards of the Coast. You killed it. So I'm just, I think it's the final pin that I wanted to put in this cushion to let you know. I'm not even talking to my audience anymore. Wizards of the Coast, you really screwed it up on this one. This is bad. This one's bad. Any hope or excitement that day of Christmas, just waking up 5 a.m. to sneak downstairs in our socks and see what Santa brought us, gone. None of that. None. Replaced wholly with cynicism and coal in our stockings. That's all we get. What happened? We snuck downstairs as quiet as a mouse. We don't want to wake our parents up. We're still in our jammies. We get down there half asleep, quiet as we can be, like a spy, right? We get down there. The stairs don't creak whatsoever. We look into the living room with anticipation. We want to know what is our big Christmas present this year. And right there in the middle of the floor, turd. Big turd. Just a big steaming turd in the middle of the floor. Hey, I hope you like it. We got it for you. We spent a lot of time on it. You can be excited. Poop. Just a giant piece of poop. Well, I just hate it. I hate it. And so does everybody else. Even the finance people who are defending that this will be a product worth buying are also saying it's a bad product. So I'm done. Okay. This is the end of the video. I've said it 3 times now, but God, could you have screwed it up anymore, dude? Could you have screwed this up anymore? Could you have? I think we had sugar plum fairies dancing in our head, thinking like, oh, maybe they'll just like seed Black Lotuses into boosters. They did it with Legends cards. Hey, remember that? You can get Legends cards and Collector's Boosts of Dominaria Unite. Maybe in Brothers War, they'll tell us that they're just seeding like Power 9 into those. It's like 1 out of every 25,000 packs. That'll be kind of gross, but also like really exciting. You open a box and a pack. Hey, just give that a shot. No. You can spend $1,000 and get this. That's what you can do. I hate it. I hate it so much. I'm going to lose my mind. So that's it.